welcome to another episode of Your World. I'm Dara Kamarani, your host for today, and let's begin our first segment. In this segment, we'll bring you a variety of stories from home, one of which is President Joko Widodo held a meeting with some cabinet members in Bogor Palace to discuss the preparations for the upcoming World Water Forum in Bali. Stay tuned only on Your World.
The agency said in a press statement issued on Tuesday that the incident started when Marore Island 322 state ship received the report of fire of MV Dahau. After coordinating with the National Search and Rescue Agency's Command Center and Bakamla Sea Patrol Command and Control Center, the state ship managed to evacuate 10 crew of MV Dahau ship who had been rescued by a passing ship, MT Maran Gas Sara. The rescuing ship then coordinated with National Search and Rescue Agency to hand over the crew in Kupang water. Following the successful evacuation, Marore Island 322 state ship handed over the 10 ill-fated ship crew, consisting of 8 Indonesians and 2 Chinese nationals, to the authority. The ship documents state that MV Dahau is a cargo ship that carries cement with route from Dili in Timor-Leste to Manokwari in West Papua. Until Tuesday early dawn, MV Dahau is still floating without any crew in the southwestern water of Wetar Island. The authority warns other ships going to the region to be cautious.
World Water Forum.
Coordinating Minister for Maritime Affairs and Investment Luhut Binsar Panjaitan said after the meeting in Bogor that the preparation for the World Water Forum in Bali is now on its final phase. Luhut Panjaitan added that the forum is an important meeting for global leaders and aquatic experts, saying further that the event is aimed to be a productive occasion to discuss water sustainability issues around the world. Minister Luhut Panjaitan also expressed his optimism that the forum will be attended by 14 heads of state and around 50,000 participants. In addition to becoming a global discussion, the forum is also considered as an excellent momentum for Indonesian tourism sector. Therefore, there must also be well preparations for logistics and security. The 10th World Water Forum in Bali in May 2024 is not only expected to be a platform that produces innovative solutions for global water problems, but also as a real example of Indonesia's success in hosting big international events.
Director Generals of Multilateral Cooperation at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Tri Tariat, said on Monday Indonesia has invited all 193 member states of UNESCO. Until now, more than 100 countries have confirmed to participate in the 10th World Water Forum in Bali from May 18th to 25th. Tri said that the forum has also invited dozens of international and regional organizations which focus on water issues in the region. She added the involvement of the organizations is intended to ensure that the event does not only involve government institutions. As the host of the 10th World Water Forum, Indonesia selected Water for Shared Prosperity as a theme. The forum will include high-level meetings led by President Joko Widodo as well as ministerial meetings.
Health Minister Budi Gunadi Sadikin signed a joint commitment for the GFC project alongside the WHO and UNDP in Jakarta on Monday. Officer in charge at UNDP Indonesia, Sujala Pant, and WHO representative to Indonesia, Parani Taran, represented the two global organizations. The joint commitment is part of the arrangement for the grant proposal from the Green Climate Fund, or GCF, which is the world's largest dedicated fund helping developing countries respond to the climate change. The GCF is a financing mechanism of the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, or UNFCCC. Through the joint commitment, the Health Ministry is committed to creating a greener and healthier Indonesia. Minister Budi said in his speech that Indonesia will continue supporting the energy and resources needed to achieve the maximum goal, especially the healthcare, which has been impacted by the climate change. Budi explains that the ministry and the WHO and UNDP aim to reduce Indonesia's vulnerability to the infectious disease caused by the climate change. Other goals including raising awareness on the risk of the spread of diseases from animals to human and conducting research, as well as vaccination on animals at risk transmitting diseases, especially throughout El Niño or severe dryness. Meanwhile, Sujala Pan of the UNDP says his group and related stakeholders will increase collaboration within the Indonesian government through the Health Ministry, especially in arranging proposal for the GCF. For this proposal, the GCF provides financing worth $35 million for 7 countries, including Indonesia. Paranitaran of the WHO Indonesia says that the WHO supports the collaboration as the Green Climate Fund has the potential to solve various climate change and health issues in the comprehensive.
As part of the efforts to tackle health problems due to climate change, the Indonesian Health Ministry collaborates with the WHO and UNDP in a joint commitment for GCF project to seek the Green Climate Fund. It is a financing mechanism of the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, or UNFCCC. The UNDP and WHO will help Indonesian Health Ministry in preparing a proposal for the GCF. For this proposal, the GCF will provide financing worth $35 million for 7 countries, including Indonesia. UNDP Heart Cluster Lead Agus Sugianto on Monday explained that according to the GCF measurement, Indonesia was part of the 3rd output country regarding innovative climate resilient and low carbon solution and investment support. The other 6 countries are Madagascar, Nepal, Palestine, Thailand, Togo, and Vietnam. Agus says Indonesia was included in the category as it is considered reasonable in terms of investment readiness according to pre-feasibility studies, investment proposals or pipelines, and WHO standards such as Health National Adaptation Plans or HNAPs, as well as Vulnerable and Adaptation Assessments or VNA. In order to be able to secure the grant, Indonesia should go through 4 stages. The first one is proposal arrangement, which is currently handled by the Health Ministry, UNDP, and WHO. Second, the GCF will receive the proposal and conduct approval process. Third, GCF will start the process of multi-partner co-investment facility organizations. And fourth is the continuation of impacts of facility and increase in finance to climate and health projects. Meanwhile, a WHO Indonesia National Officer Indah Devianti says that Indonesia will benefit from the GCF funding in many areas, as it will help with early mitigation of issues, for instance, to help reduce the number of deaths from diseases caused by climate change. According to the WHO's projection, during the vulnerable period of 2030 to 2050, climate change is expected to bring more deaths per year due to malnutrition, malaria, and diarrhea. The Green Climate Fund is the world's largest dedicated fund helping developing countries respond to climate change. As of May 2018, the GCF had 76 projects around the world with total value of $12.6 billion. The projects are expected to reduce around 1.3 billion tons of carbon emission and increase climate resiliency for 217 million people globally.
The recently appointed Climate Crisis Coordinator for El Niño and La Niña response, Rina Gelani, told reporters that the current El Niño event that we are facing right now is one of the strongest since 1950. Let's take a look for more details.
The recently appointed Climate Crisis Coordinator for the El Niño La Niña response, Rina Gelani, said, "The current El Niño event is one of the strongest we have had since 1950, with 40 to 50 million people affected in 16 countries." Gelani, who just returned from visiting from flooded areas of Kenya and Southern Africa, said, "I met with communities who basically had everything, their whole lives washed away." She said, "All of the communities are basically saying they have never seen an impact like this." The Climate Crisis Coordinator noted that February was the hottest month in 100 years in the southern part of Africa. All of the harvest gone, and added that communities are basically looking forward, saying this is the end of their livelihoods as they knew it. Over 30 people died of heat stroke in March and April this year, with a 65-year-old man thought to have died from heat stroke in Banbung district of Chonburi. According to the Disease Control Department, the number of such fatalities during this month and last was relatively higher than last year, when 37 people died in the 4 months from March to June. People who are vulnerable to heat stroke include those who work outdoors, pregnant women, children, and elderly people who have underlying diseases. The department has offered tips on how to identify people suffering from heat stroke. They will usually have a body temperature above 40 degrees Celsius, but without perspiring. They will be thirsty, have a headache, feel nauseous, and experience muscle spasticity. Preventive measures include drinking 6 until 8 glasses of water, wearing clothes to protect from overexposure to sunlight, and avoidance of outdoor activities, according to the department. Chiang Mai Zoo finds a way to cool down all its animals, spraying mist and providing cool treats. With the northern region of Chiang Mai province experiencing temperatures exceeding 40 degrees Celsius for a week, animals, especially those with thick fur, are affected similarly to humans. Chiang Mai Zoo has arranged cooling activities for its animals. Trucks have been used to spray water in the morning and afternoon to alleviate the heat in their respective habitats. Additionally, within the exhibition areas, sprinkles have been installed to cool the animals, including African animals, white lions, Asian elephants, and small clawed otters. The zoo staff has also provided frozen treats made from fruits and other refreshments. In Son La, Hua Binh, and Tan Hoa, Phu Yen area in Vietnam for the past 3 days, the temperature has been consistently high from 39 to 42 degrees Celsius. In some places, it is approximately 43 degrees, especially in Tuong Duong and Nghệ An, it is 43.2 Celsius degree. Temperatures above 41 degrees are no longer rare, appearing almost every year, each year being higher than the previous year. Nationwide on April 26, there were 16 points exceeding the historical temperature value in April. This number increased to 71 points. Among them, there are 23 points with the highest temperature since measurement. The reason is due to the impact of the El Niño phenomenon, causing temperatures to be higher than the average for many years, and the strong development of the hot low-pressure area in the west. Bangladesh Meteorological Department issued countrywide third-phase heat wave alert amid severe heat wave in the most part of the country. In the latest heat wave alert, the Met Office said, the prevailing heat wave over the country may continue during next 72 hours commencing on Sunday, adding the heat wave likely to continue till Tuesday morning. Due to increased moisture incursion, the discomfort may increase, said the message in detail. Earlier, the BMD had issued 72 hours heat wave alert message in second phase on Thursday. The persistent El Niño phenomenon has triggered higher temperatures and unbalanced rainfall distribution across Brazil in the past few months, according to a report released by the Brazilian National Institute of Meteorology on Thursday. The report showed that many regions across Brazil have experienced record-breaking high temperatures due to El Niño from September to March, coinciding with the spring and summer seasons in the southern hemisphere. Remarkably, the peak temperature in Brazil occurred in December last year during the spring season rather than the usual summer months of January or February, which climate experts say is due to the weakening of El Niño in South America since last December. The El Niño phenomenon has doubled the rainfall in southern Brazil, particularly in the state of Rio Grande do Sul. However, in Brazil's other areas like the Amazon rainforest in the north and the Pantanal wetlands in the central west, temperatures have risen sharply while rainfall has decreased significantly compared to previous years.
We continue with more interesting stories. The ongoing China Auto 2024 is seeing a significant integrations of AI-driven large models within China's domestically produced of new energy vehicles, making new energy vehicles safer and smarter. This and more on our last segment.
Chinese Premier Li Qiang on Sunday stressed developing intelligent connected new energy vehicles or NEVs and making the auto industry more high-end, smarter and greener. Li, also a member of the Standing Committee of the Political Bureau of the Communist Party of China's Central Committee, made the remarks when he inspected the 2024 Beijing International Automotive Exhibition, a 10-day show that displays 278 distinct NEV models. He called for pursuing industrial innovation led by sci-tech innovation, furthering opening up and cooperation, and better satisfying and creating market demand. The ongoing 2024 Beijing International Automotive Exhibition, or Auto China 2024, is seeing a significant integration of AI-driven large models with China's domestically produced new energy vehicles or NEVs, making the NEVs safer and smarter. The 10-day-long Auto China 2024 kicked off Thursday in northeastern Beijing's Xunyi district after a lapse of 4 years. As spring breathes life into the nature, golden snub-nosed monkey families are venturing out with their 30 fluffy newborns at Zhouji National Nature Reserve in northwest China's Shanxi province. Situated about 1,500 meters above sea level in a dense forest, these little monkeys, accompanied by their parents, are learning their first survival lessons. The elder ones have been practicing foraging and climbing while the newborn babies snuggling up to their moms, creating a warm and lovely scene. The Education Bureau will implement the 4 R's mental health charter in the next school years. The Advisory Committee on Mental Health believes that more schools will participate as the requirements are easy to meet. A local nonprofit organization that provides emotional support services suggests that the school curriculum framework should include emotional education to raise parents' awareness. Finding reasons behind children's behavior can be as challenging as a treasure hunt for teachers. Since the pandemic, this primary school has been working with an NGO to address children's emotional needs through workshops and tools such as feelings and needs cards.
To break the vicious cycle of food insecurity, we must place highest priority on promoting peace, enhancing economic stability, and building climate resilience, thus creating ideal conditions for no person going hungry and losing their dignity. I therefore take this opportunity to reiterate the repeated call of the General Assembly to ensure safe and unhindered access for humanitarian aid, especially in Gaza, and for everyone elsewhere where conflict reigns. We must achieve at all costs our goal to end hunger by 2030. We must treat the food crisis as a development crisis, one that requires an all-hands-on-deck approach to forge the comprehensive policies and coordinated responses to attenuate the suffering, manage the risks, and critically, to build resilience against future shocks.
Our collective support aims to help countries in their efforts to integrate national policies for sustainable development, access international and concessional finance, and mobilize budget support and debt restructuring, as well as climate financing to fragile contexts that leave no one behind. Innovating financial solutions which will unlock private investments and leverage domestic resources are among the priorities of the system to maximize the UN's delivery and impact for a global food systems transformation.
UNICEF is proud of. At the core of our approach lies the acknowledgement that food security is not just a consequence of food scarcity, but also of unequal access, distribution, and utilization. Our efforts must encompass increasing food production, but also improving food systems, enhancing sustainability, localization, resilience, and addressing the root causes of hunger and malnutrition.
And that wraps up today's episode of Your World. I'm Dara Kamarani. Thank you for watching and see you again.